different uses. Interesting, Swampert. I guess
If you follow like
yeah, the starters
you
make
follow like
sense.
Twitch streamer, right? You
Yeah.
follow Twitch streamer, you can see like Shadow McChamp was like the thing like near the end, right? So you can see like recently, McChamp was like 6.7. I think that's tied with the highest with Venusaur.
Yeah.
Um,
That's,
yeah.
that's great. So how often do you tweet out this information? How often are you collecting? Like how often are you compiling this information for the public to see?
Well, first I did initially for Gold Stadium when preseason was out because I didn't want to go into preseason without knowing anything at all, and there was no resource for that. So I just took the community, I made a form, and then people just contributed, and then over time I just populate this, and like I didn't understand like how rating would work or ranking would work. So the formatting changed over time as I got a better understanding. And Niantic obviously changed like how rating and works as well. Like this season, there's no rating in
Yeah.
7, 8, so on. So
Yeah.
so I usually update or post a tweet like the first 24 hours,
Okay.
and then the week after. So kind of like two snapshot, and then one final. And then for the 1 week capture point, I usually give it to Matt from PD Poke. That's when he updates the ranking as well. So you do see a frequent update on PD Poke ranking and see why things change based on this weighted usage and so on.
Yeah, and I find it super helpful because obviously there's some Pokemon that were really inflated, and they might have like a good conceptual use. Like I think one was like Shadow Raikou. Shadow Raikou was like eighth on Great League, but like no one ever uses it, right? So obviously it might have some favorable play, but just no one's ever using it, so it's great to identify as kind of throwing people off and maybe like misweighting on obviously a big basic actual versus what was in the simulations.
Yeah, like I think like without weighted usage, I think like stuff back then like Ontario would just be ranked number 1 because it beats like everything. But when you like weight it in all Zoop usage, GFIS usage, it probably weight it down. So.
Yeah, exactly. So then, do you want to show how people can contribute their battles and win losses? Like, you want to show them the form that they can check out?
Yeah, definitely. You can go PV Poke. You go to rankings. There's a form right here. You can update there. Or take it to your Google Sheet form, and then you can contribute your data there. And then you can also go to one of our biggest contributors, Go Battle Log, gobattlelog.com.
So I have this new show right now where I'm trying to talk about issues, but not in a boring way, sort of like in a young, cool, conversational way. So like,
You can also submit your team here, and they also provide very useful data as well, which is more lifetime, real-time usage data, and then common leads like Auzu, and you can see the cheapest usage combo with that as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay, great. So I will include a link to your Twitter, so people could check it out. Especially, I know people are going to be really interested in the Ultra Premier data usage since it's coming out pretty soon. I'll include a link to the forum and to Go Battle Log, so people can start contributing to the data. And any final thoughts that you want to share with people in regards to their preparation for Ultra Premier or their last couple battles for Great League?
Yeah, just follow my Twitter. I usually post like one day snapshot when the meta starts, and then a week afterwards to see how it changed. Use those data to like look at the usage of leads, right, and then pick like the best Pokemon to all these meta, right?
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
is
I find it really helpful that you're breaking it down by rating and by rank. So because that's good. There's definitely differences in meta due to budget or like how difficult the Pokemon is to obtain or to use. So I'm really curious on how people will be able to utilize it and to help them win more battles.
Yeah, I mean definitely that helps. And like I also do stuff outside of GBL.
Sure. Yeah. You want to talk something yourself?
Yes, like for stuff data. The last cup we had was I think Catacomb.
Yep.
But okay, so like Shooter Rudo is like almost 80% of teams.
Yeah.
And then Umbreon, Venusaur, and so on. And then I also broke it down by goal usage and server usage. So goal usage in my like Reddit posts and so on. It's basically teams with players with the winning score, the highest score in that tournament.
Yeah.
And then server usage is basically second place, right?
Yeah.
And so on. You can see like Shooter Rudo, like the winning players use Shooter Rudo in 90% of it. Not in the actual battle, but like in the team stakes at least.
Yeah.
You don't have the team of usage data. So like Shooter Rudo is basically a clear indicator. This is a MVP for this club. 90% of winners use Shooter Rudo.
Yeah.
And so on.
Exactly. So
And goal and so on.
even though it's the most used Pokemon, it actually probably should be used even more than it actually was. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then if you go down the list, you can see like Drapion, it was used in 13% of the team, but only 7% in winning teams. So like that's why the performance score is negative 45%. I mean, it's good, but like the number of players that used it didn't really make it to the top cut basically.
Yeah.
That's how you can interpret these data. At least my usage data.
Yeah, no, for sure. But like over and underperforming Pokemon, and you can either counter them.
I do this usually twice a month per cup. So like Sorceress Cups and everything. Azumarill is number one, and so on. And then sometimes I Twitter also post like breakpoints.
Okay, yeah. So I see you have this Master League point sheet.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not sharing this because it's very fragile and it takes forever to load because there's so many checks and calculations. But like, I usually tweet it out. If someone asks for like a certain Pokemon, I usually run it for them as well.
Yeah, I could see that because there are a lot of calculations, and I find probably Master League is probably the easiest one to do it because they're always.
I also do I also do Great League and Overture. I can show you after this. I'll show this one. So like for this one's for like Metagross for Master League, whole Premier Cup. You can see like for attack IVs 15 and 10. If you go down the list of damage done, it's basically the same. Outside CMP factors and so on. But you do see that break point of like 15 attack for Metagross. It does 7 against this dragon, I think. So that's like the way you see it. It's like, oh, maybe then you check on PV Poke and see if it makes a difference. And if you do, you notice that you win that matchup in the 2 shields. So that's that, and also the shadow factors as well, and then the defensive side as well. That's usually I publish this on my Twitter as well. If you have any questions, I also publish results as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, great point. I think that's good for people to know, like at a kind of a high level, like whether or not their Pokemon is worth powering up. Whether the IV differences are that big a deal. Okay, so this is for the Great League, right? So this is Azumarill.
This is a Great League comparing against opposing ranked ones. Because obviously I'm not going to compare every ranks in the Great League. That's very difficult.
For sure.
So yeah, like the one I highlight here is basically this 9, 15, 11.
Yeah.
It hits a break point for Bastion. And then while it doesn't give up any bulk against the other Great League rank 1 plus 15 IVs, because I don't know what IVs opponents has, but plus 15 IV is usually a ton factor as well. And if you want to take advantage of it, go for it. But high rank still better.
Yeah, I guess the Bastion one matters if you're not carrying either one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because it probably wouldn't make it too big a difference. Well, probably easier to bubble down, but probably not too huge difference. But yeah, if you don't have the break point, the Bastion matchup becomes very iffy, which can be very unfortunate. But the other ones, yeah, the Machamp and the Sableye, yeah, pretty interesting. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's all I have. That's what I usually work on, and I hope with like other content creator like 7 even, he does a count chart. When I was watching his stream, it was like counting bubbles, like the little dots in the PV Poke. I'm like, this is way too slow for him. So I made like a spreadsheet for him where he just put password charge and just give him the counts.
Oh, okay, very nice. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I love those charts as well. I guess you have the example there. you want to quickly show it?
Yeah, so like 70 even he does this on the stream live and he makes it as well. And he posts it on his Patreon and Twitter. So basically he does his chart on the counts and then the little minus sign, which is like leftover energy.
Yeah.
So like Ozu will do the second player will take 5 bubbles instead. So that's what the little minus
Yeah,
count
same
is.
for Mud Bomb and Earthquake, and there's a bunch of moves that have residual energy that end up making it do less, which is important because that helps you understand like how quickly the second move's gonna come, so you can
Yeah, so I hop on the data. As you can see my little tag at the bottom right. He gives me thanks for credit at least.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is super helpful, and we appreciate all the work that you're doing for the community, and hopefully more people will contribute, and we look forward to seeing the breakdown for Ultra Premier and Ultra League, and then as well for the upcoming self tournaments. All right, perfect. Well, thank you very much. Any final thoughts? Things you want to share? If you want to say your Twitter handle again.
Yeah, my Twitter handle is YTX Pikachu. That's it. I think you probably link it somewhere. I guess.
Yeah, I'll include a link, and I appreciate your time and help, and looking forward to it. All right, thank you. All right, thank you everyone. If you like this video,
Oh, that's cute. He hurricaned my Aggron.
I'll see everyone in the next video.
So take a look at this Drifblim here, almost 100%. I did go plus that, and it's shiny. An absolute crazy go plus. I can't even believe it. So, you know I had to max that out a while ago and purchase that secondary move. Not a cheap investment by any means, but it was worth it because the thing does put in work. Now, we will be vulnerable to, say, a Glade, right, with Confusion, Leaf Blade, or even close combat, but that's where the Drifblim comes in handy, and it is going to completely wall it all together. The Confusion damage, it is going to stack up eventually, but we're going to be able to get off those Icy Winds to lower the attack. There we go again with those debuff attacks. They're just great. I love them, and it is going to be able to help us. All right, so we're going to get into the commentary here right after this battle. We're going to be taking that win with the Toxicroak at the end. Great. We're going to be keeping this lineup for the entire video. We're going to be leading with Toxicroak. Alright, so we're met with an Ampharos here. I mean, this isn't the worst situation. We're going to be able to get to these Mud Bombs a little bit faster. They're going to be able to get to that Thunder Punch. And it looks like we had a tie here. We're going to be able to get it first, though, because of our attack. They're getting it off, and they're going to be swapping into a Swampert, and we're going to go right into our Drifblim here. They're not able to get off a Hydro Cannon before we're able to get to the Icy Wind. That's beautiful. Therefore, we're going to be able to lower their attack, and they're using a shield. Perfect. So if they have Earthquake, I mean, that's pointless at this point. Going for Sludge Wave is also pointless because Ghost resists poison type moves. And then the Hydro Cannon is their only option here, doing neutral damage. But as you can see, it is starting to add up. It is starting to do a good amount of damage here. So I think we're going to go ahead and shield this up. Yeah, keeping that Drifblim alive. We're going to be going for Shadow Ball. Honestly, I should have just went for another Icy Wind. Yeah, definitely should have went for Icy Wind. So they're swapping really quick here. Very nice. I was thinking I could get to an Icy Wind, therefore I didn't swap, and letting them gain a little bit of extra energy, doing that much more damage to our Toxicroak here, and we're able to get to a Mud Bomb. Let's see what happens here. We're going to take it out. Beautiful. Of course, there's no more shields. They have a Venusaur back there, but unfortunately, our Lapras is going to be left vulnerable. It is going to be Shadow, so it is going to be a little bit squishier than normal Lapras, and that is going to be doing massive damage, and I do kind of rage quit out of there. Good games. Moving it on to the next one here. And just a little bit more information, I didn't even test this out or anything like that. I just went into the Go Battle League, thought it was a good team comp, and I was having fun. Yeah, you lose a feud, you still have to stick with it and test it out a little bit more. If it's a horrible team comp, switch it up and change it, make some changes to your team. But otherwise, keep rolling with it. I felt really comfortable with it, even though I was taking a few losses here. I just needed to find my niche, and you can't win them all. Remember that. So up against this Venusaur here, we did lower the attack, and the Frenzy Plant is still going to be hurting even though we resist it, just because Frenzy Plant is one of those OP Community Day moves, right? So we're going for another Icy Wind. They're still holding on to 2 shields, and so are we. Not able to get to another Icy Wind, while that Empoleon is able to gain a little bit more energy. Going in here with the Toxicroak, and we're absolutely going to shield this up. Toxicroak is the key at this point. Going for Hydro Cannon, and they're staying in here. Drill Peck, right? I mean, I don't know. Alright, whatever. So they're going to be swapping into Clefable. We're going to get out of there quickly. Although we're not taking super effective damage from the Charm because we are poison. Toxicroak isn't the tankiest thing around, and it is still doing neutral damage, and Charm just being so strong, it's basically super effective damage, right? So go in here